Unfortunately, when the yellow flag came out, it stopped the back markers coming into play. So that was a bit frustrating for us because I think that could have changed things up quite a bit. But otherwise, it's a great result for the team, well, for myself and the team, after the disappointing weekend in St. Pete. And we're back on track and look forward to the next races.
Yeah, heading to Long Beach, and you had some success at Long Beach before. Is that something you're now looking forward to, getting back to the street course?
We're not racing.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to Long Beach. I forgot. Sorry, guys. My mind's just losing. Now we're going to Barber Motorsports Park. You tested well at Barber Motorsports Park. The whole Carlin team didn't they were kind of there, but a couple guys were a little farther down. Of course, Neil Alberico getting quicker. What are your thoughts going to Barber?
Yeah, no, the Barber test went, well, a bit up and down for us.
Yeah.
I was extremely fast in the morning. I was quickest. And then I had an incident which put me out for pretty much the whole afternoon. I only did one run right at the end. So we're probably slightly on the back foot, but I'm looking forward to getting there for the race weekend. As we see, from testing here, things always change when you get to the race weekend with the IndyCar rubber down, and it's almost like another track. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be, again, whichever team adapts the quickest to the changing conditions, and I think we should be in really good stead for it.
Let's stay with the theme of conditions right now, Kyle. What were the conditions like? Obviously, a lot of rubber went down yesterday. The IndyCar had another session like yesterday afternoon. What were the conditions on track like today? Did they surprise you at all?
I think running up front was a little different for these guys because the aero did play a huge factor. Because at the end when I started catching the back marker, I started feeling like, oh, this really changed the balance of the car. So it's really hard to run close to anybody. But when we were in clean air, I was surprised how little the tires actually wore off just running by ourselves for the whole time. And I was pretty much in conserve mode. I didn't want to push too hard early and wear the tires out because I knew it was going to be a long race. So we just kind of kept pace, tried to stay about the same as Ed running behind us and maintain a good gap.
Well, was that the initial strategy, was to try to run for maybe 50, 60, 70 laps at more like 70 or 80%?
I mean, it's not like you plan it, but I mean, in the moment, I feel like we were really quick right out of the gate, and I didn't want to just keep pushing too much to where you wear the tires out and later in the race you don't have a good car. So once we established that gap, I just kind of pulled back a little bit and said, let's try to maintain even pace so we don't lose too much against the guy behind us in case lap traffic did come into effect. But it didn't, luckily, and just finished the way it was.
Let's move to the race itself. Talk about your success. Obviously, the last couple of laps, you must have been listening to the car like you always do when you're looking for that first big Indy Lights win. What were the last couple of laps like, and how did you feel in the car coming across the line as the winner?
I was pretty nervous, actually, because you never know with these races. Anything can happen. And, I got to thank Mazda and Cooper Tire, first of all, for just giving me a good car throughout the whole race, because you're always, you've seen horrible things happen, but this car was perfect from start to finish. So I was a little worried, but once the checkered came by, I was like, okay, now I can celebrate.
Now, yourself as well, obviously momentum we keep talking about. You're very strong, had a good consistent run at St. Petersburg. You win here, and now we go to Barber, where Spencer Piggott, who ran with you last year, and you guys were very strong. He won both races last year, so you're going to have a good baseline. Do you have a lot of confidence now going to Barber?
I have a lot of confidence going in every race weekend this year. I feel like I have a different mindset this year, and after seeing Spencer do well at a lot of tracks last year, I've kind of come in with that same mindset this year and tried to follow in what he did, and I think it's working out pretty well so far.
Well done. Do we have any questions from the media right now? Far back corner.
Hi, Kyle. Michael Knight with the Arizona Republic. You got the attention of a lot of people in this room yesterday by describing oval racing as scary. When you have a day as you had today, or this kind of race, did it take some of the scariness out of it?
No, it never takes any scariness away. When you're going this fast with two walls on the inside and outside, you always got to be on top of it and be aware of what you're doing. Because if you make one mistake, you'll be in the wall. So you always have to be aware of what you're doing and stay focused constantly, kind of like RC said. You have to maintain your focus at the highest level, because if you slip, you'll make a mistake and it'll cost you.
Any other questions? Patrick?
Just to follow up on that, RC, for example, let's go to you. You were just out there doing your laps, and your guys are flying, and then you see the IndyCar guys go out there, and that, I don't know if you got a chance to watch last night's warm-up, per se, and how crazy that was. What's your mindset? Is it, I got to get to do that, or these guys are nuts?
I think it's really exciting to watch it because it's completely different, or not completely different, but different in a lot of ways, because these cars don't exactly race entirely the same as the Indy cars do. It's a little bit different, but it's definitely cool to see that going. And you look at all the guys that are in it, and they've been in it since I was just a little kid going to the 500, and I mean, to have a goal and be so close to being into that and being able to race with some of my idols from when I was little is really exciting, and I think it's more exciting than scary.
Kyle, when do you picture yourself getting to do that?
As soon as possible. I mean, I feel like this year is really just my proving year. You know, show that I'm capable of racing against the best of the best, these guys in IndyCar, and I think we're doing a good job doing that so far.
Wolfgang?
Also, a question to Kyle Kaiser. You're racing here the first time. Open wheel is coming back to Phoenix. Is it comparable to any other oval you're racing, or is it very unique?
That's the thing about ovals. They're all different. You can't really compare too many ovals to each other because they all have different attributes that don't really translate. But I guess like a mile oval, it's kind of similar to Iowa. My oval bank that I've driven on isn't huge, so I can't really draw on too much experience. But I think it's kind of close to Iowa last year.
As we said before, with USF 2000, the drivers won one oval. In Pro Mazda, they only run 2, and then they run 3 here. So you're right, you don't really have a huge bank to draw from, but of course Iowa very close at 7/8 of a mile. Any additional questions, guys? Thank you so much. I appreciate you letting us come up here, and the drivers will all be available for one-on-ones now.